what's fun about it too is it didn't come from a writer's room. You know, it was just organic. It just happened. And it feels like a lot of the magic that happened under Dusty Rhodes' watch was that way. We've talked a little bit with Arn about how when he first came into Crockett, he met with Dusty, and Dusty's instructions were go get over. What can you tell us about working with Dusty? What are your memories of coming in and working with him?
Well, the only real thing other than just talking was when he first came in, it wasn't instantaneous fire. And he called me into a private little meeting, and he told me, he said, "You've been a booker before." And he said, "What would you do to get this thing going?" And I said, "You got to put the best against the best. That's the way you get any place going."
Right.
And so he agreed, and he said, "Well, Wahoo wants to wrestle me." And I said, "Well," I said, that's fine. But I said, if it was me doing it, and it's the only time ever that I ever jumped myself up in there, I said, I'd put Wahoo against Flair and let them go beat the crap out of each other. And I said, I'd put me against you because I can make you look really, really, really good. And I was fortunate that Dusty did that. And over the next 4 years, you know, whenever things were going down, we did some sort of a thing where, you know, we had an I Quit match or not the I Quit match, but the First Blood match or the Win Baby Doll match or whatever the case might be. And those were all a very successful period until Arn and I went to the WWE.
Working with Dusty, Arn, is has got to be a bit of a treat, especially because, you know, you said it was some of the most fun you ever had. But now it's come full circle. You're getting to work with Cody. Did you ever think that, you know, your career would really just become parallel with the Rhodes family as long as it has?
Well, you know, before we skip over, you know, how we got from there to here, I think it's important that we go back and realize a couple things. It's like, from that promo going down and saying Four Horsemen, like I said, I don't remember if it was a week, but it was probably no more than 2 weeks. Again, this thing popped in my head and we started doing it. And within a 2-week time slot, we went from never being together with any association other than the story with the Andersons or Flair being family, to 2 weeks later, that crowd that was still down, business had not came up yet. It had not caught fire yet, but there was just some inklings and some things that people were doing, that the Four Horsemen deal right out of the chute. I mean, it just flamed up. And you've never probably seen guys that were just put together that didn't come in together as a team or anything, that in 2 or 3 weeks' time, it was already catching fire. And that's an amazing, amazing accomplishment if you think about it. But if you look around, our audience was, you know, they knew who Ole Anderson was. They knew who Tully Blanchard was. Tully had been there for a little bit and had already staked his claim in the company, you know, and Ric Flair and this rookie standing out there who looked like Ole, had to, you know, was trying to work like Ole a little bit, and you implement some of his style, you know, to just suddenly be grouped together. I guess that's why it worked. Once they stuck us together, there was no turning back. And it just built and built. And with JJ, I mean, the thing that benefited everybody, from the fans to the baby faces to us, was the fact that no matter who they stuck that mic in front of, and we had no set order of how we were going to go. It was just somebody would step up to that mic, and there was nothing lost on any one guy that did the talking. When it was said and done, everything was covered. and it was covered in a very eloquent and vicious way, just depending on which guy you handed the mic to, and it just immediately caught fire. And to this day, think about that. 3 weeks time,
Right.
amazing.